Hello everyone and welcome to Sozo Inspiration. I have a post that I posted on Facebook where I have been sensing God trying to prepare us for what's getting ready to come down the line. What's coming, you know what? Only God knows, but what I do know is that whatever it is, we have to be prepared and in place. God has placed his treasure in our earthen vessels, and he is getting us ready so that he can pull them out. So some of us have been transitioning this year, are feeling a pinch this year, are feeling pressure this year, are feeling lost this year, and it is all to get us in our right position so that we can be ready to go when he says go, to build when he says build, to pray when he says pray, whatever he says do, that we are ready to roll. All right. So I made a post on Facebook where I talked about this is the season that God has given us the grace to deal with stuff that's been dealing with us. So what I'm going to do on this channel is to get with you guys because I feel like you're the ones who God is positioning so that we can be ready to roll when he says roll. All right. So I want to share with you 1 Peter 2:9. It says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him that have called you out of darkness into the marvelous light." And each one of you have been called. You got the call. I'm letting you know now. If you hadn't heard it, I'm telling you now. You have been called. So now it's time for us to answer. And you've been called because you are that royal priesthood. You are that holy nation. You are God's chosen people, okay? So not only that, I would like to share Jeremiah 1:10. So this is what we are called to do. You ready? You ready? You ready? See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out, pull down, destroy, throw down, build, and plant. That is what we are getting ready to do, okay? And we're going to do it with ourselves first, okay? And then let God lead us wherever he leads us and whatever gifts he leads us in, okay? So we're going to start with the rooting out, all right? So if you're ready to join me, let's talk about rooting out a little bit. So rooting out, where did it originate? So we all have behaviors and habits. We all have thoughts, the way we talk, the way we view things. Why? Where did it come from? Have you ever asked yourself that? You know, I was listening to a story and I do not remember where I got it from or who told it. If I did, I would cite who it was, but nonetheless, it is fitting. So there was this young lady. She'd gotten married and her husband moved into the house and she was preparing dinner. And in the process of her preparing dinner, she had this big casserole dish and she had this pot roast. And so what she did was she took the pot roast, put it in the dish, but before she did, she cut the end off and then put the top on and put it in the oven. So her husband was like, "Well, why'd you do that?" And she's like, "I don't know. Like, my mom always did it." And he was like, "Well, did you ever ask her why?" And she was like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Well, you should." And she's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'll ask her." So she got on the horn, called her mom, and she's like, "Mom, why did you cut the end off the pot roast whenever you cooked it?" And her mom's like, "I don't know. I just did it because your grandmother did that." And the girl was like, "Oh, wow. Okay, then. Well, I guess I'm going to go to Mima and see what her explanation is." So she called up her grandma, and her grandma was like, "Honey," she's like, "it was like the Great Depression or something like that. And, I didn't have enough money to get a pot that was big enough to hold the meat. So in order for me to cook it, I had to cut the end off. And then I was able to cook it like it should be cooked." So the whole time, the grandmother cut the end off because she didn't have the room to be able to hold it all. And then the mother, she did the same thing and didn't know why, just did it. And then here we go with the granddaughter who had the capacity to hold more, to get more, to put more, but did it, cut it off because that's what she saw her mother and her grandmother do. And that's like us. We have the capacity for so much more, but either we limit ourselves because of what we've seen from people in our past, in our family, or what people have told us, or maybe we've never seen anything like that, and maybe God has spoken to our hearts and we don't understand how to believe for it because we've never seen it, okay? So we are gonna root that stuff up, all right? Yes. And so in order to start that, I'm going to let you guys know about the book that I wrote last year. It's called Generational Curses, Do They Really Exist? And I wrote this book with the intention of proving that generational curses did not exist. Like I just knew I was going to be right with that. But by the time I got to the end, oh my goodness, I was like, God, I was so wrong. They do. And so I was like, let me publish this thing so I can share this with the world because other people may be thinking like I think. And a lot of times we have stuff that's rooted in generational stuff after generation, just like that mother and that grandmother with that pot roast, okay? So we're gonna explore parts of this book. So if you have an opportunity, just so you can read it, be well versed with it, or go through it with me, it's on Amazon. You can get it and order it, and I can attach the link below. Sorry about that. I can attach the link below so that you can purchase it if you would like, but you don't have to. But I can tell you a lot of things we're dealing with, generational curses, and you got to go back so you can root that stuff up, okay? So what we got to find out and what we're going to be focused on for this video and next video is rooting out. Where did it originate? Have you ever asked yourself, what is it that I'm doing and why do I do it? Where did I get that from? I mean, even to the thoughts that you think on a daily basis. Have you ever asked yourself, why am I thinking that? Where did I get that thought from? Where did it originate? Okay? And we have to do that because I talked about on my Facebook about the different devices that the enemy will use to try to deceive us and how we need discernment so that we can know between good and evil, all right? And those things, sometimes they mask themselves on the inside of us as, oh, that's just me. That's how I am. It's just my personality. Oh, my mama's like that and I'm like that too. You know, we'll even do it down to even health-wise. Oh, well, my mama had diabetes. My grandmama had diabetes. I'm going to have diabetes. No, we don't have to take that stuff on. We can root it up so that we can walk in the fullness of the call of God. Remember I told you he called you, and we are answering the call today, all right? We're answering. So with rooting out, there are going to be two things that we talk about. Number one, to root out means to expel, and to root out means to pull up. Expelling and pulling up. So from an expelling standpoint, you deal with expelling demons or getting them from oppressing you, getting them from influencing you, okay? You pluck them out, all right, in Jesus' name. And then with pulling up, it's the wrong thinking, okay? That stronghold, though, that's what that is, a way of thinking that is opposite of what God says, okay? Pull up. We forsake that way of thinking, all right? And so what we're going to do next time is we're going to start on generational curses because we're going to get to the root of this thing and we're going to get free in Jesus' name. All right. So if you guys are open and want to walk with me through this, Come on back next time. Get the book and let's walk through this together so we can be ready when God says it's time. All right, guys. Well, it was great to see you. Be blessed, be empowered, and let's get ready to root some stuff up. Peace.